All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So it's been a while since I've covered these four, okay? These are my essentially tier 2 and tier 3 AI stocks. Truth be told, they're all kind of in a bad tier, so I'm going to cover all four of them together, okay? Look, I loved AI stocks at one point and was very loud about it. I don't necessarily hate them right now, but clearly there is more money to be made in other places, all right? And if you are someone that is okay just kind of buying and waiting, look, I really think AI is going to come back strong, all right? Otherwise, yeah, like I said, it's just EV sector is crushing it. Crypto sector is crushing it. There's a number of really just kind of random obscure tickers that my viewers are throwing that are just crushing it. You know what I mean? So it's just one of those things with like, what's your trading strategy, and ultimately, what are you as a person? Like me, I've said this kind of jokingly, but I'm a crackhead. I am. Like, I like moving my money around. I like watching it go up fast. I'm not scared of it dropping quickly, and like, I'm cool with that. I'm a crackhead. I love it. You know what I mean? But for some, that's not the game, and just know who you are, right? So just take that as I say things don't look good or look good, right? Because we all have different opinions of that. But again, before we go any further, what are we going to do today? Same thing we always do, right? We'll take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how this thing is setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are support and resistance lines that I do draw manually myself. It looks like there's a trend line that I drew manually myself as well. But yeah, once we're done up here, we will use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to this channel, share this video on the internet, comment good or bad. Look, if you disagree with me, I'm not here to hate on you or anything like that. I would love to have a good educated conversation. You know what I mean? But anything you can do really does help me out with the YouTube algorithms. Otherwise, just your time is super, super appreciated. All right. So let's talk BBAI. And it's funny, a lot of people, literally the last 2 or 3 days, I've been getting a good amount of comments about BBAI, all right? And look, I see what others are seeing, okay? I'm not trying to pretend that there's nothing worth talking about today. And really, it's all about this 200 moving average, this purple line right here, okay? My problem is, and look, I've used this phrase often, this is not a fancy, technical term, but look, I only have 5 moving averages. When they all get really close to each other, I call that a horizontal cluster of moving averages. All right. And I actually don't like trading in them, because what you do is you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down, you go up, you go down. And man, it can last for months and months and months. And look, this has already been a full 1, 2, 3 months, and we're now into the 4th, right? So, these are, I'm not a fan of them. I'm just really not. However, once this decides which way it's going to go, it will either violently break the top and run or horribly drop from the bottom. All right. And look, let me just show you really quickly. I literally just covered this, so I know. NVIDIA, break them all and fly, or HUSA, lose them all, basically here, let me just zoom out, you can see it, lose them all and die. Oh, this thing's turning around. Interesting. Cool. I wasn't expecting to look at that. But yeah, right? Like, I think we are just forming this cluster and flying. What a lot of people are saying, look, there's a term called a double bottom, all right? I am not a chart pattern trader. All right. I do not know the patterns. I don't care about wedges or things like that's not my game. All right. I very much agree that the 200 moving average is a very important line, and theoretically you should be able to bounce it and hopefully run. Okay. Again, what I see is not a double bottom. That's not what I'm looking at. I see a moving average cluster. I see us back at the bottom of that. I see an 8 moving average that looks like it's still going down. I see a MACD that's actually in the negative. I see volume just consistently dropping. I'm not sure we're using this line to bounce, okay? I'm a little worried we're gonna slip out and come to this 1.8. Now look, do I think we're gonna lose this and die? I don't know. All right. Truth be told, this doesn't look horrible and this doesn't look horrible. All right. It doesn't. And one more time, let's go back to, Palantir is the one I really want to show. Palantir looks like it breaks it, actually loses it, looks like it's going to break it, actually loses it and then takes off, right? So I don't know if BBAI is going to do the first kind of lose it, but not really. But honestly, I think we're going to lose the 200 before I actually think we're going to break the 100. Again, 200, 100, right? Color lines. But yeah, I think I needed the RSI to look a little better. I needed the MACD to look better. And I needed volume to look better for me to believe we were coming up here. Truth be told, even more, I don't think we're getting over this. I think it's going to be really hard to break these two lines at 230. So if we maybe go up, I think this is the highest we go, and then we come back down. I'm more worried about losing the 200 one more time than I sincerely believe we will break this, all right? If you disagree with me, throw it in the comments. I'm not here to hate on you or like, pretend I'm a genius and I'm for sure right? But that is my sincere opinion on this thing, all right? What's the weekly look like? Again, this isn't a fantastic weekly. We actually have a cluster of 3 lines. We're still at the bottom of the 3 lines. I believe we're going to lose this. And look, this is 202. That's pretty much that like line down here I had around 187. Like it seems like we're going to come down here, probably going to come down here if I had to guess. Again, I am not convinced on BBAI. Believe me, I've seen a lot of people try to tell me that, I'm wrong, and I've humbly disagreed, right? And I'm still doing it on this. Happy to have more discussions if it comes up again in the comments, all right? SOUNDHOUND. So SOUNDHOUND's been really interesting, I think is the best way to describe it, all right? So we lose the 8 and lose the 20 and have actually still been trading under them, all right? So just this never gets over the 20. This tried to, I know today looked like a really good day for a moment, right? But obviously it didn't get over the 8 and the 20. Like we're still under these lines. This is actually now a death cross, all right? You want the small one to break above the big one, not lose it and go on. Like this is a death cross right here, right? Like it seems like this 8 moving average wants to keep going down. And we've seen it where that happens. Look at this, right? Like you just can't get back over this thing until eventually, right? So I'm still seeing this coming down, I think, to 308. I don't know if the 50 moving average is going to save it. Maybe it will. I don't think we'll go any lower than 291. Sorry, that was a little dyslexic right there. I think this is a good in the middle and probably where we'll hit. This doesn't look good. This doesn't look good. This looks okay. I know we're in the positive, but yeah, green over red is what I want, not red over green. This one is also red or green, right? So these two are kind of telling me the same thing. And again, it has actually been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days where we've been under the 8 and the 20, 7 days under the 8 alone, all right? So yeah, I see more bad here than good. I'm not convinced just yet. I'm really not. You know what I mean? So this isn't a bad weekly. And hey, maybe this is where we're going to come hit the 8 and bounce back up. That's for sure a maybe, right? But again, I think we're coming here. I think we're coming down a little bit. I think we're coming down a little bit into this, and then hopefully we take off from there. But overall, do I think that this is in danger and trouble and horrible? No, I don't. I just think AI is kind of cooling off a little bit, Bullfrog, BFRG. Okay, this one's kind of interesting, all right? And this one has the least amount of history. This is a very, very relatively new chart, all right? This is the money line right here, all right? If this thing can get over, what is this, 446, if this thing can get into the 450s, we're now over all the moving averages and there's not a lot of history. Like we might run to this, hopefully break it and then run all the way up, right? My problem is, in all honesty, it's going to be really hard to break these two lines, especially now that the 100 formed and the 100 formed under this. So now these two are going to start getting a little tight. It's going to be difficult. Yes, this is a golden cross. Yes, we've been over the 8 and the 20 for a few days. No, I'm not convinced that this is going to run. I'm not. I don't think we're going to break these two lines. These don't look horrible. All right, MACD is obviously in the 0, but green over red. But yeah, this doesn't look great. And man, our 50-day average used to be up here at 2.3, let's call it 2.4 million. Now we're under a million on average. Volume has substantially died on this thing. It was really hot in the beginning. No one has seemed to care about this stock since roughly May, let's just say by like around May, we've actually literally never crossed that 50 moving average, and it's devastated what the average used to be. And now we're not even crossing 100,000 shares. That's actually super, super low and probably makes the minute, look how shady of a minute chart this is. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think there's a number of reasons to say Bullfrog's not ready, even though like from the outside, this actually isn't a horrible chart. So I need more here. Man, I couldn't remember the Guard Force AI ticker or name for the last 2 days. And as I look at this chart, I can tell why. This is horrible. This is ugly. This is so, so sad. I remember talking to some people around here. I don't remember when it was. Maybe it was here, maybe it was here. I know, like, obviously you can see it. It looked like there was moments where this was going to take the 8 and the 20 and run and take off, right? But I think it goes back to my soundhound worries that, dude, it's not easy to get back over the 8 and the 20 when you're under them, all right? And there are times when it looks like we're so close to getting back over them and you just end up and you end up not doing it and you're back down. And yeah, this is what happens when you're under all the moving averages, when you're under the 8 and the 20. And man, I haven't looked at this chart, honestly, probably since this video, if you really want to know the truth. And again, I think a lot of the same Bullfrog comments, like this thing was hot for about the same amount of time, and then it very, very much just never was again, you know? So where would I enter? I don't even think it's this line anymore. Like, I don't think I would have to wait for this to break. I wouldn't touch this stock under 572. I would want to get over the 50 moving average, hopefully ride it all the way up to there, but realistically that's going to be hard to break. But look, I've covered 4 of these, what I call tier 2 AI stocks. Honestly, none of them look good, on top of the fact that C3 AI didn't look good on the last video. So I would still stay away from these unless, you know, you've got other longer term trade plans. So hey, let me know your thoughts. Otherwise, you know, thank you.